Hi, Mr. McDonald. This is Drama Journal number 6. This is the CPA tragedy, and my tragedy currently does not have a name because I couldn't think of one that was witty enough, and I'm kind of deciding between two. So I'm going to let you think about this in suspense until the end of the video, and then at the very end of the video, you can look right down there at the little box where it says all the information, and then you'll get to see the title. So it's like the suspenseful witty title at this point. My story surrounds the characters Car, Biron, Ubel, and Juliet. And I wrote an introduction to the story, but the rest of it is more just a point form because the story would take me like 10 years to write. But I still have it laid out in a way that I can tell you. So I'm going to start with the introduction and then I will continue with the rest of the story. Reigning from a place where the race that bears prejudice, judgment, and hate to that in which does not fit its standard. Its way of thinking, beliefs, are shaped by its past people who carry and teach hate from generation to generation. The infinite birth of a hateful race began. But what is evil if there is no good? The good are the rebels, those of the race who believed in equality, in external, boundless freedom. Now, and the question was, what are they fighting for? They fight for the right to love, to be, and to have temporal happiness, unfazed by the spirits of evil. This is the manifesto of Car, a fighter in which the resistance to all its evil, and which ultimately leads to his demise. Car is a rebel. He is arrogant and praised by the rebels as a leader or god, used to getting what he wants with charm, wit, and stealth. Juliet is a supreme, yet unfaithful to what she was raised to believe, a want-to-be rebel, known for her charm, grace, and temptational behaviors. Car, taken prisoner by the Supremes, meets and falls in love with Juliet. But little does he know that she appears harmless but is very unfaithful. Juliet leads Car on, and all of a sudden is gone. She is lost to him. Several weeks later, he learns that she was wed to Biron, the judge of the rebels, and the evil king Ubel's leading man. Car, enraged, escapes and hunts down Biron so he can have Juliet to himself. Juliet learns of her lover's death and takes her life, now to be known as nobody's wife. Car is left in all his arrogance alone, because in the end he destroyed exactly what he was fighting to preserve, temporal happiness and love, and is now left with nothing, left to live a lonely life of temporal sadness. Okay, so I know my story is kind of short, but I decided I'm going to leave some time here to talk about what the story means. Basically, I wanted to talk about how girls and guys lead each other on, and then it's like they don't exist anymore. And I know this happens a lot at CPA because you hear girls and guys complaining about it forever and ever, and it gets really annoying. So, technically, I just decided to write about it so that it was a nice way of getting catharsis about the release of the emotion of frustration over this, because it happens all the time, and it's all I hear about. So, that's one of the reasons. And then the reason that they end up alone is because once you have a relationship with somebody like that, it never really leaves you. So, like, once you have a relationship with almost with anybody, it never really leaves you no matter when you leave a relationship. And I thought that it was important to include something that actually was relevant to me and not just completely pointless. And that is my journal entry number 6.